Hi guys, my name is Ash, and as you can tell from the title, today's video is going to be about 5 tips for new Muslims. Okay, before I get started, I just want to let you know that these 5 tips are just 5 tips for me. I am no sheikh, I am no scholar. These are just simple tips starting out that have been very helpful for me. I know that over time, inshallah, I will be able to grow more and more, but right now these are just tips I think that I found helpful starting out. Okay, so tip number 1, when it comes to salah and dua, please, sisters, please do not force yourself or put too much pressure on yourself that you need to memorize al-Fatiha, you need to memorize all these prayers within a week. That's not realistic. So please just give yourself time. And I found it to be really helpful, like just using different tools. This book was very helpful. It was actually given to me by a sister, and it's an Islamic studies book for beginners. It talks about wudu, even different prayers for dhuhr, asr, isha, just kind of even the words. If this focuses, it was very helpful in the beginning. And then another tool that I used was an app actually on my phone. I actually have a little section on my phone called prayer, and it's called PraySpace. And this is what it looks like when you first open it. And it even breaks down like the rak'ah, what it is, how to use the app. But it talks about, it breaks down like all 5 prayers right there. So you select the prayer, sunnah, it's 2 rakats, so you click on the sunnah and it actually walks you through it. I don't know if I have the sound on or not. Oh. And I kind of made it a little bit slower at first so that way I understood the words, so yeah. But that was really helpful for me too when I first started praying. Another thing was subhanallah, subhanallah, subhanallah. Roxana, if you ever watch this, thank you so much. I have a sister who actually took me to the masjid and she showed me how to pray, and that was very like enlightening for me, because I was like, here I was reading books, watching, you know, YouTube videos. I was learning through the PraySpace app, but it was nothing like actually having her walk me through everything and try to pronounce. And the second tip is when it comes to everyone's favorite, hijab. There are so many sisters, I feel like, when they convert, they're questioned like, are you gonna wear your hijab? Have you started wearing a hijab yet? When are you wearing your hijab? I don't see you wearing your hijab. And it can be very, very, very overwhelming at first. And I feel like also sometimes a lot of converts get a lot of backlash when they wear hijab, like not necessarily like in the proper way. Like, I know this is not proper, but my neck is covered, it's to the side. This is what I'm comfortable with, and this is what I like, and this is how I wear it a lot. And some people out there might not necessarily agree to that, but at the end of the day, Allah is the one who can judge me. I think for converts, it's very important for you to understand why you wear the hijab. It's not just a scarf. It's more, it's like being modest. It's a big, so tip number 3 kind of goes in line also with hijab. It's just basically when it comes to modesty, please, 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 sisters, know that it's okay to slowly transition your wardrobe. And what I mean by that is, obviously, you know, don't wear tank tops and shorts, but what I mean is, like, if you're not used to wearing like sweaters, you're not comfortable wearing sweaters, you normally wear short sleeve shirts, start wearing cardigans over those shirts. In the summertime, the summer is really easy because dresses, they have so many long sleeve dresses. I mean, I got some from Amazon, and if they don't have long sleeve you know, if you can't find a long sleeve dress but it's still modest, throw a cardigan on it, throw a trench, a light like spring coat, or, you know, kind of make it your own style. And then skirts are amazing for summertime. Long skirts, and they're comfortable. I know for me, I work kind of in a business environment, so I find long skirts are really nice. I have like maybe 3 or 4 longer, nicer skirts that I found to be really helpful when I started off. And nicer long sleeve dresses came in handy in the summertime, because I actually converted in the summertime, so it was like 90 degrees outside constantly. So for me, I was like, okay, let me get some skirts and try it out. Okay, the 4th tip is find a support system. I feel like so many Muslim converts lose family members, lose friends, and it's very unfortunate, especially in today's society. I think in the US especially, it's unfortunately it can be frowned upon with some of your family members. And I mean, it's sad, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's not true. I mean, I definitely am not close with some of my family members since I've converted. I'm not close with some of my friends since I've converted, but I am okay with that. I have such a strong support system of Muslim women and non-Muslim women that are around me, that the people that I no longer talk to me, it's like, this is just a transition into the next stage of my life. So, I mean, just know that it's okay. If you don't have anyone that's around you, remember that you can call the local masjid. Luckily, like, I had an amazing sister that I met in school, and I actually reached out to her and she got me connected to a halakha group. I actually attend 2 halakha groups, and I think that is very helpful for me. And those out there that don't know, halakha, from what I understand, which I could be wrong, my halakha groups it's a group of women that get together and we discuss different things regarding Islam. About going to 2 different halakha groups is that I learned 2 different things. One group we read directly from the Quran, which I love, and the other group we actually read from this book, Stars in the Prophet's Orbit, and it talks about 60 of the companions, and honestly it's the easiest thing to read. It's really hard to put down sometimes, but it's just very nice, and it just makes me want to learn more. Like, I feel like every time I'm done reading it, I want to learn more. So I love being able to have 2 different groups with 2 different types of women. My 4th tip is find a support system. I feel so many Muslim sisters lose family members, friends, family friends, people that they thought that would be there forever, unfortunately, just because of the fact that they converted to Islam, which is very sad, but also very common in the Western world, especially in the US. I don't know about Canada or other countries. I'm in the US, so I feel like it's very common in the US, unfortunately. But just know that you're not alone. I'm not gonna sit here and say like, yes, my family, we're perfect. No, there are some people that I still do not talk to. Family, friends, both, ever since I converted. And you know what, that is perfectly fine. Luckily, I have a sister I met while in college who is a very amazing Muslim sister, and she actually connected me with, I went to school away, so she actually connected me with sisters here in the area that I'm located now, not where I'm from, but where I'm located now. She actually got me connected to a group of women, and I am so grateful for her because it really helped me learn more. I had already been wanting to know about Islam, and I reached out to her because I know obviously she's Muslim, and I believe she lived here for a little bit. I'm not sure, honestly. But she actually knew someone here and got me connected, and I started going to meet with the sister to learn more about Islam, and then I started to attend halakha groups, and it's very, very, very helpful. You know, I thought it was very helpful going to meet with a sister and just ask questions. You know, if you have questions about Islam, reach out to your local masjid and the imam can put you through to maybe a convert sister or a Muslim sister who can sit there and meet with you, you know, and go over any questions that you may have. So I think it was very important for me to have that support system starting out, because I know that they are the reason sometimes that I push through. So yeah, I mean, it's very important to find a support system close to you. And if you don't have a support system, if you don't have a masjid like 30 minutes from you or 20 minutes from you, or you don't have a way to get to a masjid, there's still great online groups. I know Facebook has a few groups, Instagram might have a few groups, I'm not sure. But I mean, I think it's very beneficial to surround yourself with women that are going to be there for you, that are going to be able to answer the questions that you may have, questions that sometimes you might not even think of. I know for me, as a convert, when inshallah I raise my kids, I'm not going to know how to raise my kids because I didn't grow up Muslim. There are going to be some things that my husband is not going to be able to understand because he was a man growing up. He was a born Muslim growing up. So it's very nice to have that support system of sisters around me, because then I can kind of bounce tips off from them and, you know, guidance and help for everyday life. So yeah, I think it's very important to surround yourself with a good support system. And again, like I said, if you don't have a good masjid close to you, there are groups on Facebook for different sisters, different convert groups. Okay, my fifth and final tip is Ramadan. That is something, as a new Muslim, you may not know what to do. You may go into it like, okay, I know I can eat sundown. When can I eat in the morning? What can I eat? Can I eat things? Are certain things off limits? Should I be doing something extra? Ramadan. It's such a big topic, and honestly I feel like I can make a different video for it. But I was so excited this year because I got to experience my first Ramadan, and there were so many positives and so many things that I went into it not realizing that would happen. Like, for instance, I'm a convert, so I don't have Muslim family to have suhoor and iftar with. So that was a big thing. Suhoor in the morning, it was just me rolling out of bed. That was a big thing too. Just making sure that you are mentally, physically prepared for Ramadan. Mentally just going into it knowing that you may struggle some days. What's going to work best for you. Physically, you may be very tired, you may be very exhausted, but just know that the outcome is amazing. That feeling on Eid when you're just surrounded by others at Eid prayer, it's just an amazing feeling that I really can't describe. But just mentally going into it, knowing that you're doing this because you're supposed to, obviously, but mentally just going into it, knowing that, making a plan for yourself. One of the things that I wanted to do was I wanted to attend different masjids. Luckily for the halakha group I attended, that was one of the things that the sisters were doing, going to different masjids each night. And I wanted to do that so bad every day for the month of Ramadan, but I slowly got so exhausted that I think I only went to maybe 2 or 3 different masjids that I've never been to. I just kind of kept going to the same one. So yeah, that is one thing I would say, is just don't try to overwhelm yourself mentally. Just, you know, take it day by day. Mentally know that, you know, try to read more of the Quran. I know for my lunch break I was exhausted and I took naps. It was a really hard time, I think maybe the first week, because I just didn't know. I didn't know what balance. I didn't know for suhoor how much I should eat. For iftar, I don't want to overeat. It's all about finding that balance and finding what works for you. I found it to be very helpful to plan ahead and make like freezer meals. That was very helpful for me, because at the end of the day when I come back from work, I'm exhausted from fasting. So all I want to do is go pray, you know, break my fast and I want to eat like right away, but I also wanted to eat healthier options. So I think by prepping your meals ahead, that was really helpful for me. And also another thing that I really encourage sisters is to read the Quran. read during Ramadan. I have Muslim Pro on my phone, and I think I tried to read like the whole Quran during Ramadan. I wasn't successful, but that's a goal for this Ramadan, inshallah, in 2020. But yeah, just mentally and physically being prepared. Just know, like I said, know what time Fajr prayer is. Know what time Maghrib prayer is. Knowing what time all the rest of the prayers are, obviously. Try not to miss a prayer too. I know that was one thing that was very hard for me. Sometimes I would be working and I would go right through like Asr prayer, and I look and I'm like, I feel like I miss Asr prayer. And lo and behold, some days I miss Asr prayer because I'm just go for work. I think mentally I just wasn't prepared. I didn't know what to expect. But yeah, just making sure that you're mentally and physically prepared, and then know that it's okay to go to different masjids like I did. I wanted to find out what masjid was more comfortable for me, you know. Everyone is going to have their own opinion about a masjid that they prefer, that they like, but I thought it was very beneficial for me just for Ramadan to just going to different masjids to, you know, fill out the community. Like, do I feel welcome here? Do I feel like I'm not gonna fit in here? But yeah, just mentally and physically be prepared when it comes to Ramadan. A big tip I'm gonna leave you on is for Ramadan, we have voluntary days on Mondays and Thursdays. Fast those days. You know, it's very hard to fast for 30 days if you've never fasted before. Go into it fasting on Mondays and Thursdays. And if you find Mondays and Thursdays are hard for you to do both days, do one of the days. But just try to fast on those voluntary days, and inshallah you'll feel a world's difference by the time Ramadan comes. But yeah, again, that's just something that was helpful for me. And then try not to overeat for iftar like I did. But yeah, again, I hope you guys enjoy these 5 tips for new Muslims. I feel like I was all over the place rambling, but again, these are tips that were helpful for me. I hope they're helpful to you. Be sure to tune in. I'm gonna post videos every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, stay tuned. See you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.